Executive.
The Orange Democratic Movement Party leader, Raila Odinga, yesterday castigated the 14 billion shillings cost of a referendum given by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, saying the exercise would cost 2 billion shillings. However, in a swift rejoinder, the IEBC chair, Wafula Chebukati, termed the former Prime Minister's statement as unfortunate and lacking objectivity, stating the 2017 repeat presidential election, which was a single ballot election like a referendum, cost 12 billion shillings. The ODM party has since responded. Let's take a look.
452 million shillings, which solution was eventually not utilized. Number two, the Commission procured 1,694,400 security seals valued at 19,588,000 that were not used as intended. Number three, the Commission purchased 149,640 GB extra data bundles valued at Kenya shillings 127,625,000, which were eventually not used. A further Kenya shillings 1.8 billion worth of data was found to have been wasted after the Commission failed to factor in the correct technical specification during procurement of the same. Number four, the Commission incurred unnecessary legal expenses amounting to Kenya shillings 200 million, directly attributable to the Commission's incompetence. Number five, the Commission procured an Oracle database and security solution worth 273 million shillings, which it did not use. The Commission further purchased 31,928 additional SIM cards for use in the repeat election of October 26, 2017. However, records show that 23,261 SIM cards were received and distributed to constituencies, leaving a balance of 8,667 SIM cards purchased at Kenya shillings 4,463,000, but were not delivered. Further, the Commission's account balances reflected in the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2017 differed with the ledger balances. Variances totaling 631 million shillings were noted on various heads, with Chebukati and company offering no explanation for this material anomaly. We could go on and on. Those are just but a few examples, but we are sure that you get the picture. The PAC, the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, noted in its report that prudent management of public resources by the IEBC had been sacrificed at the altar of self-aggrandizement, and that speculators and wheeler dealers had a field day in the IEBC. The committee concluded that the true cost of the August 2017 general elections and the repeat elections of October 2017 presidential election may never be known, and that the actual amount of public money that was lost from the manipulation of procurement processes and creative accounting may never be fully ascertained. It is estimated that no less than Kenya shillings 9.1 billion was either wasted or stolen in the 2017 election cycle. The BBI process aims to reform the IEBC once and for all. As one of the institutions whose lethargy, incompetence and inertia make them complicit in the shedding of Kenyan blood, we would have expected that the current team hangs its head in shame and await Judgment Day. But it is said that the devil's agents often have a problem with silence. If there was ever a time to call out, isolate, and throw out the rogue gangsters occupying IEBC, it is now. They seek not to serve, but to rob the public, televise their incompetence, and impose themselves on a public that couldn't be more nauseated. Mr. Chebukati and his gang of ne'er-do-wells should now be aware that Honorable Raila Odinga is not prone to making unverified statements, and his figures are backed by science and global case studies. The Commission, as we have illustrated, has been caught with its hands in the cookie jar, and yet they are trying to convince us that the hand was trying to clean inside the jar. It is laughable that through some warped logic, Mr. Chebukati had the nerve to tie the Right Honorable Raila Odinga to the cost of the 2010 referendum, suggesting quite interestingly that just because the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was on the yes side of the 2010 referendum, he somehow bears a level of responsibility for the cost of that referendum at that time. Such logic is what convinces many that Mr. Chebukati lacks the intellectual grounding required to do his job. Only a really dumb thief says, but I stole this same way last time and it was okay, when caught in the act. The budget was overshot in 2010 and in all elections that the electoral body has conducted since. It is at this time of reforms that we shall make it all right, regardless of how easily they walked away with the loot some other time. Right Honorable Odinga has never worked for the IEBC. He has never been the commission. He does not prepare their budgets and has in fact been a perennial victim of the IEBC's evil machinations. So his name cannot be dragged into the commission's unbridled greed. The chicken gate scandal has already taught us that what seems like overshooting the budget and wanton wastage is in fact clear manifestation of theft. We are certain that if we left the chicken out of the IEBC's so-called budget, we can deliver a referendum at a cost of no more than Kenya shillings 2 billion. That is the end of the statement, and we will take questions. Oh, just before we take questions, we can start with Honorable Atandi. He'll say something, then I will give the chair of PSC also to say something. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much, SG. My name is Honorable Sam Atandi, Member of Parliament for Lego Songa. On top of the statement which has been read by my SG, I want to make the following statements. One, Rwanda, a country which is the same in size as Nyanza province, which is about 4 counties, conducted an election with an amount of less than 350 million Kenya shillings. This is the same amount of money which IEBC used to conduct a by-election in Siaya County.
Members of